Welcome back to another episode of your Digit Hustle News. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. Now, we're going to start this episode by taking a quick glance at the markets. This week is very important for Bitcoin's price. Now, much like I expected, guys, we are starting the week in the red. This is okay because we haven't had that full confirmation of reversal on the weekly charts that I have been indicating to you guys. Now, on the daily, we can see we have a much clearer picture of this scenario. You can see that we are starting the day down from the peaks that were reached over this weekend. The way these charts are looking, guys, I am wholly expecting another solid pullback sometime this week. That's so we can finish out this pattern that will bring us closer to this lower Bollinger Band. Now, just to remind you guys why I like to use Bollinger Bands, this is very important. Bollinger Bands indicate price ranges, guys. And if we look at this correctly, it can be a very, very strong indicator and even a predictor of the markets. Again, that's why I like to use Bollinger Bands. Guys, just in case you didn't know or don't know what these are, I have a video on the channel that explain Bollinger Bands in its entirety. It's been a great tool thus far, so we're going to keep using it. Now, let's get into the news. Is 2022 the year of crypto game theory? Well, according to Fidelity Investments, they believe it's going to be a major factor in adoption this year. According to a report published earlier this month by their digital assets division, based on the accelerated rate of adoption in the past year, it may be a wise decision for bigger players to come on board in order to not be left behind. They go on to cite El Salvador as their main example, and admittedly, they're on to something because more and more countries are now drafting paperwork to make Bitcoin a part of their monetary system. But I think the boldest of predictions was that a central bank would be picking up Bitcoin this year. Now, that one is definitely a stretch, as the announcement of any major bank adopting Bitcoin to its balance sheet would dramatically affect the market. Then again, this is what could already be in the cards. At the same time, JP Morgan is also predicting a major increase in tech spending for 2022, driven by none other than the fintech space. This is the same JP Morgan that successfully utilized its own blockchain with the Central Bank of Bahrain. And in late December, it was announced that they were working with a payment protocol in Germany in the form of Siemens. Now, it doesn't end here, guys. BitPay, one of, if not the largest crypto payments processors in the space, processing over $1 billion in volume last year, they have released a report showing that companies and customers are using other forms of currency as payment instead of Bitcoin, noting that the use of stablecoins dramatically increased in 2021. Now, this could be due to a number of factors, but what these numbers are telling us is that the paradigm is shifting, and people are starting to see that the utility of different blockchains is where the value can be found. Now, the studies that BitPay conduct going forward are going to be a great resource for us, and we will make sure to keep tabs on them throughout the year. And one of BitPay's largest partners, and no doubtably a source of the aforementioned data, Visa is teaming up with Consensus to build payment structures for CBDCs. This new structure details a pilot program to explore retail applications such as cards and wallets. An estimated 30 central banks have gathered to discuss goals that governments worldwide are looking to achieve. Again, I'll never let us forget this quote: to reduce global remittance down to 1%. We know the goal across the planet right now is to reduce global retail payment costs. This is how we're going to get here, guys. Now, another element that we must not forget, and this is a global element, is stablecoins. That's why we see Kathy Wood of ARK Invest getting closer to stablecoin giant Circle. right around the exact same time that they are slowly but surely taking market share away from Tether. Now, deal comes in the form of a SPAC deal, which is a special purpose acquisition company. The company in question is Concord, which is set to merge with Circle this summer. Again, this is a global element, guys, as Hong Kong is also setting up a framework for regulatory stablecoins. Again, this is a global element, guys, as Hong Kong is also setting up regulatory frameworks for stablecoins. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority is preparing for this change because they see that although trading volume in the digital asset space right now isn't enough to really threaten traditional markets, they indicate that a growing number of institutions are preparing to enter the market over the next 2 to 3 years. This makes a whole lot of sense, especially once we jump into the next story. Disney and Walmart are getting into blockchain this year, guys, but here's an even cooler story. Both of these companies have been developing blockchain dating all the way back to 2014. For more on this, just Google Disney's Dragon Chain. Walmart's blockchain ambitions are a little bit harder to track, but the information is still out there. Both these companies have been working behind the scenes developing their own blockchain. Now, what this indicates to me is that the mega corporations are now about to come into the blockchain with their own technology. This is drastically going to change the narrative, especially if Ethereum falls as a result of this Ripple case, guys. The emergence of independent blockchains will, ironically, usher in the interoperability era. Now, I know that's a lot to take in, but we are going to stay updated. There is a story that I am in the process of chasing, guys, when it refers to what asset is specifically involved with Disney's blockchain ambitions. Make sure you stay tuned to that. Now, another element to all of this is the job market itself. Recent data suggests that crypto related job postings jumped nearly 400% in 2021. This right away shows me that the employee landscape is shifting, which is a direct reflection of where industry is headed. With this comes the changing of the payroll industry, which leads us into our crypto news. Starting with Request Network. They're up big right now, guys, which made me revisit their network for any new developments. Sure enough, I discovered they have unveiled new technology that allows for faster payments between employers and employees. They're calling it recurring invoice payments for Web3, essentially providing a base technology for Web3 payments. Now, with crypto related job postings increasing last year, and the majority of new jobs are largely remote, a strong digital payment system is what's going to be needed going forward. This also calls to mind an idea that I first proposed to you guys last year about pay streaming. Essentially, the ability to get paid the same day for your work. Request is making this possible. Another reason, guys, I've been telling you about the Request network. Specifically, no one is working in this particular part of the industry. That's why we're going to keep our eye on Request. That's why it was added to the Power 42. Now, another asset that's on that list, guys, and one that I haven't spoken about in a long time is our friends over at Clever. Clever has made some massive improvements to their blockchain stack, and now they are bringing NFTs for digital identity to their platform, guys. Like I said, it's been a long time since I talked about Clever, but I've never sold my position and I have kept a very close eye on them all year. They are still a very small, very young project. However, the next steps in their roadmap absolutely massive. This NFT digital ID edition will open the door for their own public blockchain set to launch sometime in Q2. A bank is going to follow that in Q3, and by the end of the year, Clever will have its own web browser, DeFi application, and mobile wallet. Clever is one of those many assets, guys, that is teaching me about the power of playing the long game. It might take a while, but I can honestly see Clever taking the same route as a KuCoin, Binance, or even Crypto.com over the next couple of years. Lastly, guys, we're going to talk about Tezos. They are really playing the long game with this one. So, they've opened up a university in India that will teach the next generation about blockchain built on Tezos. This arrangement comes from Tezos India, which is an organization in India that is enabling entities and other people to gain exposure to Tezos technology. Now, they have partnered with the Blockchain School in order to prepare the next generation for the new digital economy. So, guys, I again ask, is 2022 the year we see the ultimate chess match take place in the crypto space? Taking into account all of today's information, starting to see that as a very huge possibility. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this information with friends and family. If you're new to crypto, I have links to the most notable exchanges in the description. Using the links below supports the channel and comes with special bonuses for members of our network. For more information on the new economy, check out the playlist related to this episode on the right and our most recent episode on the left. As always, have a great day, have a prosperous day. Most importantly, we making this money. I'll see y'all in the next one.